y'all, good morning. So welcome back to IBA Homestead. For anyone who is new here, my name is Renee and we do a lot of different things on my channel. Well, it's mine and my husband's channel, but he works a lot. He works a full-time job and I stay home with our son. So it's me mostly that everyone sees. But we are working on getting him a little more used to the camera every now and then. So you might see him pop up in some videos too. But this video in particular that you are currently watching, I thought I'd invite y'all to come hang out with me in my kitchen and kind of do a kitchen reset. We have been super busy the last couple weeks, maybe the last month. I mean, I lose track of time a lot. So I know the last couple of weeks. My son Declan and I a couple weeks ago went down to Louisiana for a week to go spend time with my family and my brothers and my dad down there. And then 2 weeks after we came back, which was just last week, my older brother came up here with his family for a week, and almost every day we wake up early in the morning and go hang out with them, and we come back just at bedtime. So it's been a lot of dump and go, and even when we were here between all the vacation weeks, we're just busy with things with life, you know, things with the church, things with friends, things with families, running errands, just running and gunning. So unfortunately, our whole living area in our older single-wide trailer, the living room, the kitchen area, the little area where the dining room table is, it has just become a spot of just dump and go, and there's just stuff everywhere. So today we are going to be focusing on the kitchen. Tomorrow, and I'll bring y'all along with me as I do that, that'll be the next video you watch. But for me, it'll be tomorrow. We'll be focusing on the living room area. So like I said, let's get this kitchen reset. But also, I've got some things to do with food. I've got some bread to bake. I've got to deal with some pickles, and I'll explain that when we get to it. But I feel like there was something else that I needed to mess with food-wise. Or maybe I just wanted to do something else. But either way, I'll bring y'all along with me as I do that as well. So thank y'all for joining me in my kitchen today as we reset the kitchen and take care of some food. Alright, so one of the food items that I desperately needed, sorry y'all are shaking, that I desperately needed to get taken care of was all of these pickles that we have stored in this plastic jar. Emmanuel and I started buying raw, fresh milk from a local-ish dairy farmer, and we were in search of gallon glass jars. And you can buy them from As Your Standard and some bulk food stores. Sometimes, not like Sam's or Costco, but like there's a store just outside of Springfield, Missouri called like Made in America store or something, or All American or something. But they have a lot of like Amish packaged goods and things like that. So that's a place like As Your Standard where you can buy gallon-sized jars. Them, in addition to As Your Standard, you have to buy the jars and the lids separately. The jars, I think, are anywhere from like $6 to $8, and the lids are an extra $1 or $2. So, and you're just buying an empty jar. So we've talked with a few other people, and what they do is they buy pickle jars, big gallon pickle jars. Here we have Mount Olive, we've got Great Value, we've got, is it Kosher Pickles brand? But anyway, so you just buy a big glass jar. You get them like pickle spears or whole dill pickles. So that's what we started using for our milk. My sister does it. We know some other people that do it. So it's just nice to have a glass jar. So that's the way we get our glass jars. Plus we, in addition to the same price you would get an empty jar from As Your Standard, you get a bunch of free pickles with it too, I guess. So Emmanuel had a really good idea because Declan and I have been snacking on these pickles, but I was trying to eat 1 or 2 a day just so we can go through them quickly. And I love pickles, I really do, but sometimes I just didn't want a pickle, but I was having to force myself to eat a pickle to go through them quickly. And Emmanuel had this great idea to, this is clean by the way, there was just something on it from the counter. Anyway, he had this great idea to put them in the dehydrator. So then I Googled it, and you know, kind of make pickle chips, and I love fried pickles. I like pickled potato chips. So we'll see how this works. But I Googled it, and they said, what they say, about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch slices. You do it in your dehydrator for 135 degrees for 4 to 6 hours. So we are going to try doing that. These are looking a bit on the thick side, but so we're just gonna get these slices. So I'm sorry, we're just gonna get these sliced up, and then thrown in the dehydrator, and then we'll get on to tidying up the kitchen. So I was able to pick up this dehydrator from a yard sale for $50. And it came with this hard tray on the bottom and this smaller mesh mat that can also fit inside of it. But I don't really need to use that a whole lot. But I like this because anything, whether when I was dehydrating mullein or plantain, anything that falls through the higher trays can land on this, and they don't get all up inside the very bottom of the dehydrator. So I like it, and for $50 I am super happy. So there's a box over there. Hey, why did I stick that back in there? Unmatched for that. Go there. So I'll move that so y'all can see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just lay these out, and then we'll turn it on. On 135 degrees for 4 to 6 hours, like what I saw online. Now, chances are, some of these were cut rather thick, so they may not be totally dehydrated even in 6 hours. They might, I don't know, we'll see. It took a long time for my mullein to get really dehydrated and crispy, so I don't know if it's the dehydrator or maybe I just didn't chop the mullein up enough. But even if we don't like these after we dehydrate them, what I was thinking we could do was go ahead and just make like a pickle powder. That way I can add them, or add the pickle powder to other things. Like I've made homemade potato chips before. Some pickle powder on them would be pretty nice, I'm sure. I like pickled potato chips. So anyway, I'm gonna just get back to just layering all these pickles on these trays. Alright, so a couple weeks ago we were given this box of onions and 2 or 3 boxes of bananas. And the night that we got them all, I did peel and freeze all the bananas to use for baking. But I never got around to the onions, and that was weeks ago. So now I'm going to get around to the onions. Some of them are still good, but some of them are bad. Like this one is squishy, and that one is green. So I have to pick through them and find the good ones, but I'm going to dehydrate some. I am going to caramelize and saute others and then dehydrate those. I saw someone on YouTube do that, and that looked like a really neat idea. And then I'm going to cut the rest up and just freeze them.